So, what's up, everybody?
Hey!
So, full disclaimer, this is our second time trying to do this, because the first time Twitch decided that it wanted to fuck up our aspect ratio. And by Twitch, I mean probably one of us not paying close enough to the...
We just got a new computer. We just got Streamlabs just uploaded to
Yeah.
it. We probably didn't think about the settings and whatnot.
But we are back for the 4th season of My Hero Academia. And as I said last time, thank God for seasonal anime, because I can't stand anime that is just day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year.
Yeah,
It is the
endless.
fucking worst.
Yeah.
Endless is rough.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the fact that this anime is seasonal did not save, to me at least, the opening of season 4, Polaris, by, I can't remember the name of the band, but the name of the song is Polaris, and it's super boring to me. How do you guys feel about the song?
It's fine.
Yeah?
That's about where both the intro and the song are fine.
Yeah.
I think the best part is with Midoriya and a little girl who is not named in the anime yet, so I won't name her.
Yeah, I noticed a big focus on One Horn Girl, so I'm
Yes.
assuming
Yes.
she's going to be very important
Very
in
important.
this season.
But I won't say her name
yeah.
just to avoid
And
any
as,
spoilers.
as someone who hasn't read the manga and doesn't know anything, and knowing that you two know things, I'm going to avoid looking at your faces. I'm just
I have
gonna
a good poker face. You can look at
yeah,
me.
I'm just gonna throw out there a lot of this opening and the promotional material for the season seems to involve a lot of. It seems like Deku being very, I am going to save her. So I am assuming she is going to be put in danger, and a lot of this is going to be about Deku being like, how can I be a hero if I can't save this person? Or this is going to be his arc of either, depending on how dark this show wants to go, him coming to terms with not being able to save everyone, or him, having hit one of his first big long journeys of rescuing one person,
Right.
kind of things. That's where I think the
shall see.
season's going. Calling that out there as my big Grant prediction. You can put $1 on it.
Grant can predict. We can't.
Yeah. You two don't tell me anything about
Yeah, no.
how you think this is gonna go, because I trust your
No,
judgment.
I will be stone faced whenever you're talking about something. I won't just so
Good,
the audience
thank you.
doesn't even get tipped off.
In apropos of nothing, she is a cute little cinnamon bun that must be protected the moment you see her.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, that design basically screams save her, protect her. So-
Horikoshi's a good designer, but
Yeah.
the intro,
Yes.
it's not great, it's not bad, but it's pretty bland. I imagine,
Much like this first episode.
Oh!
yeah, but I imagine the second half of the season we might get a way better intro.
Yeah, except for the fact that I think I think we're getting, we might be getting 24 episodes.
I'm fairly certain we are. Every time people think that there's going to be less, there's never less.
Never has been.
Yeah.
They're pretty dedicated to having full 24 episodes.
The thing that I found about this opening is that it was just visually very bland. They do nothing all that interesting. I think one of the only truly interesting moments is where it's the little girl and Midoriya falling.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know. For me, it's just a boring opening, but it's not a bad
It's
song.
not a bad opening.
Unfortunately, I think part of the problem, and I think this wouldn't have stopped good art from happening, but part of the problem is they don't want to spoil anything beyond that these characters exist.
And yeah, it's unfortunately in the first 13 episodes, there's a lot of setup.
Yeah, they don't want to give too much away. So I think the next 13 episodes after this first 13, we're going to get a lot more concrete of an intro. That's the season 4 intro. This is just the placeholder for now.
Yeah. This will be the only time we talk about the intro, so I think that's why we're spending so much time on it. But
and before we move off of it, I want to throw one more thing at least on it. They have this shot where it looks like the big three, I'm blanking on his name, but we were introduced to them at the end of last season. The one guy. who phased through stuff.
the 3 best students.
Three big students at UA. Then a couple more people who I don't recognize fill in behind them, and then a couple more. They kind of fill out a big list behind them. This is just me speculating because I don't know. I'm assuming either that's the upperclassmen in the My Hero the school, or I don't know, that might just be a bunch of pros they interact with throughout this season. But it looks like they filled up that screen with a lot of characters, and a lot of them had really cool designs. So I'm curious what they are.
Without spoiling anything, this season will have a lot of new characters.
Cool.
And they're a lot of fun, if I had to be honest. So,
But again, without spoiling anything, I think a lot of established characters will also get their due in a lot of ways. Like
That's also good.
people who haven't gotten the focus before.
Yeah.
So yeah, just you know, not gonna say who, not gonna say how, not gonna say why.
That is one thing that I do like about Horikoshi is that he always tries to give, like, they
Yeah.
may not get it this arc, but wait long enough and your favorite character, it doesn't matter if it's Frenchie make stomach blast, they'll get
I was
their
gonna say
due.
the character
Yeah.
who I have the hardest time believing they're eventually gonna give like a big. Actually, no, I take that back. Never mind. I was gonna say the animal talking kid seems like the guy who's never gonna get his shine, but they probably could. They could do something.
I bet you at some point, like in the manga, not everybody has gotten something yet, but almost everybody by
Yeah.
now. So we'll see. Like, but
So yeah, let's
let's
talk
get
about
the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about this episode. So, it's okay. Some people have argued that it's not a recap. Other people have said that it is a recap. Other people have said that it's a one-off episode to help tie into the new movie coming out. I think it's all three.
Yeah.
I think it is a narrative-driven recap episode.
Yes.
Yes. And it is not a recap episode where they literally just give you a
Not a clip show.
yeah. It is not a clip show. They give you some clips, but it is
And
not.
they
a clip
obviously
show
brought
where-
in some characters that Horikoshi himself designed. Because these were all Horikoshi designs.
They to be fair, a lot of them did look like especially
The main journalist, for sure.
yeah. And I think that's because I think he might be in the movie.
Possibly, but well, and also like, I think with
Pulling up my notes.
with
that I
with
took
the
for
movie
episode.
and with the movie that we've already seen, and we talked about on 4-Star Bento, and you know, and whatever coming forward, I think Horikoshi is actually very dedicated to making sure it all can be canon.
Yeah.
So like this episode, as kind of bland and recappy as it is, I bet you in Horikoshi's head, this is a canon episode.
Well, did you hear what he had to say about it?
No,
about
I haven't
movie
looked
itself?
it up at all.
Okay, so what Horikoshi had to say about this movie in the movie that's coming out, and I guess this is a decent enough
wait.
time to talk about it.
I feel silly. Is a second My Hero movie coming?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay. I thought this was referencing the first movie.
No,
that we
no, no,
already
no.
saw.
This is coming out. I believe it's coming out next month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have not been paying
Yeah.
attention.
Actually,
I haven't paid
chat.
attention at all.
Remind us of when that's coming out. I can see you over here because I do know that it's coming out soon, and I believe I can't remember if they've already got the dub for it in the works. I'd like to think that they do, but yeah.
People are saying December.
December.
Okay.
Okay, December 20th. Okay, that sounds right. That sounds like 12/20 is a date that I can see in my head. So yeah, yeah, we've got another movie coming out.
Okay.
Which is another reason that this opening looks like garbage because I'm 99% sure that
lot of their-
They once again took these TV staff and put them on a movie.
I say garbage. It isn't bad. None of it looks
No.
bad. It just looks really boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Sleep inducing.
that
I wish all the best looking anime movies have a different staff and a different director, with the exception of Pokemon lately. But like
actually that's not true.
Pokemon's had the same director on the show and the movies.
Well, yeah, but they've had different teams working on the movies for a long time.
Yeah, no, teams would be
Yeah.
different, but like I'm specifically talking about directors. But yeah, no. Usually though, a movie has a different director and a different team working on the movie, and they look like a movie. And unfortunately, the My Hero movie, as much as it's not bad at all, it's not great, and it doesn't look all that great. It looks like a TV show put on a big screen, and it kind
Yeah.
of sucks to watch it that way.
I won't lie. I do remember watching the first movie thinking, wow, these backgrounds did not translate from the show.
No.
I'm holding out hope for the second movie though. Anyway, but we don't want to get too
Yeah.
caught up on that. The second movie is coming out, and
Yeah.
I think that this is tying into that.
Okay.
It might. Like, they brought up the first movie, and they brought it up as, like, a part of his past. And it's another one of those things like, I think, like, I haven't looked it up a lot, but it seems like Horikoshi really wants things that happen in the anime to be as canon as possible.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, Horikoshi was talking about the next movie coming out, and he said that this is a climax of the series. What he wants to communicate is the things that are going to happen in this movie are things that people are going to want to see, and that are basically things that. Basically, he's saying you're going to get some serious fan service out of this movie that you're not going to get in the show.
Right.
Okay.
Which that's very interesting to me. That makes me think, oh, so we're probably going to get something that's really relevant, at least
Kirishima
action
and
wise.
Bakugo will finally kiss.
Yes, that's
was
all
gonna-
I need.
I was gonna say if he's saying fan servicey, then yeah, that's one of those relationships is gonna bear fruit.
Oh my God, I would love it. I would kill to see Deku and Ochako's relationship develop in a goddamn movie. That would be really funny
Yeah,
to me.
what if it's just My Hero Academia, my first date?
Or just yet
oh,
another
no.
scene of her going, "No, I have to push my feelings away so I can be better at being a hero."
I need to train first.
Yeah,
Then I can
need
accept
to
the
I need to get as
responsibility of a
strong as him, and then
relationship.
we'll be on equal footing, and then we can have a relationship.
So
Because
never.
I don't think that's true. I think she has the potential to be extremely powerful.
I would like, Ochako.
She can control fucking gravity.
Okay, can she make stuff? She can make stuff heavier,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Like that's one of the things, and this is going in a general point here, but one of the best things about Horikoshi's like writing with all these characters' powers, all of them have the potential to develop their powers further and do something
Yeah.
even
Really
cooler
cool.
than they already are.
Gotta say, I love how much we're avoiding talking about this episode to talk about everything around it. Because man, when you guys were like, "Let's start Anime FMK talking about the My Hero stuff again," I was like, "This seems like a real bad episode to kick off with."
Yeah, but we can.
but yeah,
there's so much
we
stuff- yeah.
could talk.
No, I'm beginning to notice you guys can get us into the weeds when the
Yeah,
when the,
we
when the
could
show
talk.
itself
We could talk
doesn't give us
forever.
much.
And that's because, look, it's been months since we talked about My Hero Academia
That's
on
fair.
here.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about.
Yeah,
Um,
but like, and there are things to talk about in this. Like, I can
There-
say,
there are, I wrote down a couple things that I was like, I didn't know that before this episode.
and I'll say straight off the bat, I like all the journalist characters. I think they're all fun.
Yeah. No, they.
Even the small roles that they have, they're fun.
Yeah.
I have written here, Taneo Tokuda is a creep. As soon as he showed up, I got like all kinds of creep vibes from this guy. When he was like, "Give us a smile," and there was like a little star thing when he like first walks in, I was like, I don't like this guy. This guy's up to something, and I don't trust him.
I will say this. I do think he's supposed to come off a little creepy.
Yeah, I think it's intentional. I'm saying it worked.
Yeah. There was one part that actually creeped me out though. Like one part that I was made physically uncomfortable by, and it's the picture. When he takes that picture with
yes,
Deku
yeah.
at the end, I'm like that. We went from Boku no Hero Academia to Boku no Pico Academia, like,
Very fast.
Oh,
and yeah, I was made physically uncomfortable with
I
that.
think the only thing that made that seem super weird.
Because he pulls him up to his chest.
Well, no, I think the only thing that made that super weird was Ochiko's reaction.
Ochiko's reaction is exactly the reaction I had of
No,
like,
she had it before we saw though, and I think that created an implication that didn't need
that
to
made
be
you
there.
feel like it was there. Another note I wanna have before we
Kuleshov effect.
because I was looking for any sort of thing that I could take a kind of fun note on. We get a small cut when they look at the other like magazines because the news people say like we're the last ones to publish a story on All Might's retirement. Everyone else has one.
Shitty journalists.
Yeah, and they cut away to a stack of like magazines where this is like the cover on all of them, and the top one, I'm assuming their biggest rival, is Hero Graphic Humbers, and I don't know why that's the title of the magazine, but Humbers I think is a pretty good name for your
Humbers.
your human hero magazine.
Yeah.
we got Humbers.
Humbers.
That might just be
Humbug.
Horikoshi just making shit up, like that
Or
sounds
the
vaguely
cast.
English.
Honestly. Are they like the crew from Bones?
I wouldn't put it past them to just be like, "Hey, here's some names." Half of them are Star Wars.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, I loved all the segments with the cuz I love the fact that they point out this is a huge story and we're late on it.
Yeah.
Man, do I know what it's like to be late on covering a subject? Yeah, no, that sucks cuz you're like, shit, if our time to like
If
our
we're
time
late,
to-
we must say something special about this.
Yeah, you've got to if you're not the first, you got to stand out.
That said, one thing that I was considering before the episode was over, like halfway through the episode, you could figure out where it's going to go. I think, at least roughly. But
There's not a lot to be fair. There's just not a lot of substance
Yeah.
to the episode overall. They pad it out a little bit.
yeah, like that whole bit where they're just explaining
Let's
everyone's
tell you
names
every
and
Yeah!
character's name and-
again, I actually just started skipping.
Well, okay.
Immediately.
So remember, part of this is for kids
Yeah.
who have
can't,
been.
who can't rewatch this
Yeah.
over
And
the
adults
summer.
who have lives and don't think about My Hero constantly. But
Yeah, that too. I don't know who they are, but
but-
one thing real quick
Yeah,
before,
go ahead.
before,
No,
we-
go
before
ahead.
we
Yeah,
go
no.
on, just to take note as the sole anime watcher here, they say they're talking about. They eventually talk about Sir Night Eye and say like All Might's prior sidekick, which has never been mentioned, at least as far as I know, in the anime yet. So I did not know.
They jumped the gun, by the way. They brought that up earlier than they did in the manga. Let me tell you.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because we saw him at the end of season 3. Like we see him, we never get a name or anything.
Nope.
We just see him looking at a computer, being like, "Oh, that's interesting," or something like that.
yeah,
So
they set
this
up Night Owl.
episode drops the like. Well, we've seen him interact with, or we've seen the one top student guy interact with Sir Night Eye, All Might's prior sidekick, but they don't seem to have a connection anymore. So I'm like, that all seems really important and like something that shouldn't just be a throwaway line in this recap episode, but okay.
Yeah, that some people were actually pissed about that.
Okay. Well,
I don't think it's important, honestly, to that small bit of information is brought up, because the next time it'll be brought up, it doesn't really change much in terms of story at all.
Well, it was just let me say this. In the moment that it's brought up, it was actually really cool for me as a manga reader, and the fact that it's a throwaway here actually did make me a little bit sad. I'll be honest, but that's my perspective. But yeah, they that will be
he's in the intro. I have a feeling he's going to be important this season, but it seemed like an interesting way for me to learn, like, oh, that's who All Might's sidekick was. Oh, and they apparently don't really talk to each other anymore.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
it's some big shit to just drop out of nowhere.
And I think they wanted for like anime only viewers, they wanted to give them some new information.
Yeah, I can see that, especially considering again this is
This episode
just
did not give us a lot of new.
Yeah. But I will say the journalists, like, not once did they think about, maybe they would have if they actually got the story, but not once did they even think about journalistic integrity when it comes to publishing a story about who the next All Might is and how that makes someone a target.
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, that's why he didn't. And I
Yeah.
figured, and that thinking about that halfway through the episode was like, okay, well, that's how this story
The
has
chief
to go.
of JUCO News clearly doesn't have the safety of the
Yeah.
next All Might in mind.
Yeah, like she obviously like kind of runs some sort of rag. She has like 3 employees total. One person's a freelancer, just shows up
Yeah.
whenever
Well,
he feels
they
like
have
it.
enough clout to get press into UA High, which seems pretty hard. So, like,
Yeah. Well,
they-
part maybe the fact that they don't matter is part
also
of what gets
possible.
them.
But that leads us to when to Eraserhead Aizawa is explaining that, hey, this guy's going to be coming into the dorms, checking out your living and things like that. And he shows up unannounced, and he's like, I was told I could be here from, I think, 8 to 6 or whatever was the times he was allowed to be there. And Aizawa says something that makes me really mad, but knowing that this was an episode that was ultimately probably not going to go anywhere, I was okay with. But he's like, he's definitely up to something. But it doesn't feel criminal, so I'm going to let him. And I'm like,
Okay.
These kids have been targets like 8 times. Even a slight suspicion should be red flags everywhere.
The anime only writers for My Hero Academia are bad. They are
yeah,
bad. They are not good. They have always been not good.
He did immediately tell Ida, let him know if anything weird happens.
I that's true, but honestly, considering the writing for Eraserhead in the actual manga compared to a lot, oh my god, like that episode, that love episode that they did, I cannot.
yeah.
I can't stand the anime only writers. Like 90% of the time, they're
Filler episodes are always bad, and part of the reason they're always bad is that you're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I
So
get their
they can
hands are
be
kind of
good-
tied. But
That's one of those things where like they could be better writers if they like, and it wouldn't matter, right? Because they still can't do anything.
I've seen good filler from different anime, but usually more often than not, yeah, you can't do any of the things that you want to do, but you can be creative, you can have fun, you can be in character
hey,
at
man,
least.
Goku
And
getting his driver's license, still some of the best anime out there.
you know, if I were a kid, when I was a kid, I
Yes.
loved that shit.
So
So I'm
did
not.
I.
I'm definitely, absolutely not going to shit on good, fun filler episodes that actually have a point, like that tell a fun little story. This was nothing but recap, nothing but like, and again, yeah, no, I was going to literally bring up that exact point where Night Eye, or not, I'm not sorry, when Eraserhead is just like,
This seems suspicious.
Also-
but I'll allow it. I'm
yeah,
like,
and the way that-
every time these kids are the targets. Why?
and not to mention just the way that's written. Like, it's not even the fact that Night Eye suspects him of something but doesn't do anything. It's the way that it's presented.
If he had just like sort of squinted and then told Ida, hey, let me know if something goes wrong, that would have been cool.
That would have been perfect. That would have been fine because that.
But actually having to think, something suspicious about this guy. That puts it over the edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That made me immediately go like, I knew it when I already thought he was a creep, and then nothing really
Because
happened,
and part of that is the writers, I think, trying to establish Togata. Is it?
yeah.
I think they're trying to establish him as a character who does there's some mystery about him, and even the teachers see that there's something wrong, but they won't stop him. Like I feel like that's their way of trying to build up tension and make this character seem like he's part of the set, but it's nah.
Or maybe Eraserhead's
I think-
just that good of a judge of character, and that he's like, this seems weird, but I can tell he's not actually up to anything that bad.
But the way that you suggested it would have been way better.
Basically, just take out the inner dialogue.
Yeah, you take out the inner dialogue and just let it be.
But unfortunately, shonen stuff. This is kind of one of my problem with a lot of shonen stuff is that they never let people just have facial expressions and that tell you something. It's always just like, I'm gonna think really hard about something in my brain for 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, a third
Subtlety doesn't exist in
I would,
shonen.
I would say a good amount of the time when that happens, it's usually because they're manga adaptations, and it's a little hard sometimes in manga adaptations to show rather than tell, because sometimes a physical movement or a change in expression is hard to show when you're limited on black and white.
I'd argue a good artist can show rather than tell.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
Horikoshi, for example, if he didn't play into the tropes of shonen as much as he does, which
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a problem in the manga. It's just he does do it a lot. I think his art style is so expressive that he absolutely could do that. Good example of someone who has done that is fucking forgot her name, Full Metal Alchemist.
yeah.
She doesn't have a whole lot of internal dialogue. It happens sometimes, but sometimes stuff just happens.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, like
But yeah.
I know her name, but it's like
Yeah.
popped out of my head. But yeah, either way, all that aside, that's like a general thing, and
Yeah.
like this is a grown-up wanting the kids show to be more grown-up.
Yeah,
like,
yes,
whatever.
yeah.
I mostly pointed that out more just for fun, like, because it's just silly that these students are the ones that seem to always get targeted and are always attacked and have been at the circle or the center of like every big conflict.
Yeah.
And we get here how it probably happens every time with Aizawa just going, this seems strange, but nothing illegal yet. So
I like his camera power. His camera
Yeah,
quirk
that's
is
fun.
like
just adds to me thinking he's a creep. Already got the creepy voyeur power. Like,
Little
you
bit.
know what? Just
no, yeah, I know. Wait until
when I took this picture, I wasn't even thinking. Oh, so he doesn't even have control over it. He can just take snapshots of anything
Okay,
he
first
wants to look at.
he-
He
later.
can externalize total recall, like complete recall of events.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I do. So that quirk generally. So as technology progresses, we are actually looking at some serious issues when it comes to privacy because a camera or a phone immediately noticeable.
Yo,
but
man,
at some
Pokemon
point,
Go already knows how many times you go to Burger King. Like,
But he has a lens pop out of his face and
he has
And a
one.
printer on his
he-
chest.
He has one in his eye. Like
okay,
if,
that
yeah,
makes it easier for him.
yeah. If you've seen like in a couple of shots, you see his eye, and it is different from his other.
I will say one somewhat clever writing thing they actually did was when he told his story about All Might and whatnot. He's like, I accidentally took a picture, and I actually thought at the moment like, how do you accidentally take a picture? But I didn't think too hard about it, and then a little bit later he's like, oh, by the way, look at all these cameras I can make.
Yeah. Actually, I was able to piece it together because I saw a couple of shots of them with the eye, and I'm like,
I wasn't paying that much attention.
Yeah, when he said my camera went off, I'm like, oh, he's got a camera in his eye, and then it turns out, oh no, he's got cameras
he's
everywhere.
just all over cameras.
Yeah, he's full body lens.
Sounds very trustable.
By the way, the power full body lens.
Yeah.
That's actually the cool name.
No,
I
that's good.
I got nothing for that. That's just a cool name. He's got a cool quirk, cool name. Like, actually, to be fair, I like Togata. Like it
Yeah.
went so as much as I might shit on filler writing, Togata as a character
Seems like a fun
works.
character.
Yeah. I liked his story. I liked his
He's gonna keep a picture of Deku inside him.
Yep. Inside of his So I watched the dub. Did you guys watch the sub?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched the dub.
Yeah,
so.
I just
Oh,
watched
okay.
the sub.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually I watched it subbed and dubbed.
both, okay.
It's minor differences here and there. Ochako saying, I smell meat. Yeah, they changed that to, ooh, something smells tasty. And I'm like, okay, that's better. That's better.
Meat
But
has
yeah.
a distinct smell, Scott.
Yeah. But yeah, no, also it is nice to see a little bit of All Might, like just as a one
That's
thing.
I think that's the favorite part of the episode that like they actually added was his experience now being known and
Yeah.
going to stores and
Yeah,
stuff.
I really liked him at the convenience store
yeah,
and the
yeah.
clerk just being like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm a huge fan. No one's gonna be a hero like you. I love you."
Have some meat buns.
Yeah, like
And
that's-
by the
that's
way, and also that was actually kind of moving too. Like he was like crying and stuff, like just by being around All Might. He's like, you've been going to my store this whole time. Also, I guess what proves that other the journalists like work for a rag is that he just gives them like All Might eats meat buns or whatever,
Yeah.
and
Turns
they're
out we
like,
know what All Might's favorite
that's the
snack
perfect
is.
story. They're happy.
So, well,
They don't need an actual scoop. They're not Spotlight.
the interesting thing is that they are kind of a rag, but on the other side of that coin, a candid shot of a celebrity in Japan is kind of a big deal for them. Like to be able to get something like that because paparazzi and laws like that are a little bit more strict in Japan. So when you get something like that and you're allowed to, it's a pretty big deal.
So they're like our laws should be here.
Yeah. I actually absolutely hate the way that we allow the press to harass. Some people say
not just celebrities, but like the children of celebrities.
yeah. Some people say, well, once you become a celebrity, you give up your rights. I'm like,
Fuck you.
Fuck you people. You're gross. You're gross.
Yeah. Let people live.
Yeah.
And that's why these people get so like in a bubble because like they can't go outside anymore. Anyway, this
anyway. Yeah.
Real
we
quick,
can do this. But
when they first introduce Toguda and to the students,
Yeah.
two sound effects happen. I think it's first when they're freaked out that he shows up, and then upset that Mineta is upset that it's a girl or not a girl. But we get Bishi and Pishi come up. Do those mean anything? Like as someone who knows nothing about any sort, but they
onomatopoeias.
yeah. The onomatopoeias pop up, just the sound effects.
during when?
I'm pretty sure it's when they're upset at Mineta and scared or creeped out when the guy shows up.
I think you picked up on that and I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Just wanted to make note of that. And
I also have no idea.
I'm looking through here to see if there's anything that I haven't mentioned about this episode because I feel like we've already talked about it.
I like that Mineta was barely in it.
Yeah.
But he still was in there.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
He was.
Could have been none.
They wanted to make
he-
sure-
But as soon as he said something perverted, he actually like wasn't allowed to act on it and got punished. So
So beyond that, let's see. Was there anything else interesting about this episode?
We have All Might when he's talking to Deku.
Yeah.
When he comes up, he kind of reiterates again about losing it or retiring. He says, "And now it's your turn, you and all the rest of the class." Like he throws that in as he's handing it to Midoriya. And now it's your turn, you and the rest of the class. Like I feel like that little
also there's
slip
other
in there,
people, I guess.
I know I guess I also think the rest of your class is cool, but you know what.
By the way, I want to point out something that didn't work so well in English that worked very well in Japanese, and this was ultimately not something that you could really account for. So when All Might points at the screen and says, "Now it's your turn," in the Japanese version, one of the things that Tokuda points out is that the phrasing, the way he phrases
it's
it,
ambiguous.
it's not antagonistic.
Yeah.
and
I'm assuming
specific-
in Japanese it sounds like less of a threat.
He says "kimi." Kimi is not antagonistic. It is very plain, very forward, but very plain. And so what Tokuda says, well, he should have said "kisamara," which you bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the English version, that's what he says, like, "You bastards are next." But it's like, yeah, but like,
I was like, so Tokuda just wanted All Might to swear on TV.
yeah, but he's got a point. When you speak in Japanese, the words that you use to talk to people are very important. Like Stefan, I wouldn't even say "kimi" with you. I'd say "Stefan wa genki." I'd say your name because I know you, and I wouldn't say you. I'd use your actual name.
Right.
And so when you're talking to a stranger, you'll want to go "kimi," or if you know what the title is, like not their name but their title, like you'll use that. "Kimi" is only used very frankly and very forward, but it is also neutral. And if you're talking to somebody that you don't like, if you're talking to, say, villains, you'd use kisama or omae.
So so it's even more ambiguous in Japanese than it already is in English.
Yes, and the fact that in the Japanese version he uses something that is not antagonistic, the fact that the reporter picked up on that, I loved that. I was like, okay, cool. That is really interesting to watch them take something from that actually happened and then break down why that would raise questions.
And didn't the actual journalist bring it up? Not the rag.
Yeah, no, he had to come in and was like, hey, so pay attention.
yeah.
to that.
Honestly,
the-
like the more I think about it, the more I think like he picked them because he knew he could get them anything, and they
they'd
would have
be
been
fine.
cool with it.
You know, that's a
They
good
could
point.
get him in, but he also wouldn't have to actually deliver.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that he went to them specifically because you need me.
They're easy to please.
Yep. So that's why I thought that was really interesting. And so yeah. So that was one of my favorite parts of the episode, if I had to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because that is one of the few moments, like, if I'm being honest with you, if that was something that they'd actually done in the manga, that felt like something that would have come from there.
I feel like this story must have at least partially been worked on with Horikoshi. Like he came up with these characters.
Yeah.
He probably they're like, hey, we need to do a filler episode. Can you do you have any thoughts on what we could do here?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. What if it's like a journalist and you're gonna do this thing?
Yeah, I'd like to think that Horikoshi would get more involved. I mean, God knows that, a mangaka can't always improve filler. They can't make it perfect, but they can
Mangaka can't make super good.
I have opinions on that, and that is actually one of the prime examples of where if it doesn't matter if you got a fucking guideline from the mangaka, if you can't write as good as he does, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people said Toriyama wrote Super. I'm like, no, he gave them a guideline of things that he wanted to happen, and then Toei had to fill in the rest. There's
and
a
boy,
difference.
Did they fill it in, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think unless you have any other notes,
I don't. The only other note I took was I wrote down when he went through every character or like through the whole class what their order was, and I was gonna maybe see if I could give you guys a little quiz
Okay.
and see if I just named a character, if I just gave you the name, could you tell me the power?
Okay.
All right. Do you know which one is Ojiro?
Ojiro, the one with the tail.
That is correct. Here, I'm just gonna go back and forth.
All
against
right.
Yeah, go
each
for
one
it.
of you,
Go
so
for it.
it's not a quick game. Stefan, do you know which one Sero is?
Seto,
Yeah.
he is the tape guy.
That is correct.
Tape
He is-
guy.
he is
Tape,
tape
he's
guy.
the tape
tape
guy.
guy.
We are tape one, we are 1-1. Hey, who's Ashido?
Ashido
Yeah.
is the one with the mouths.
That is incorrect.
God damn.
For the steal, Stefan, do you know who Ashido is?
I think that's Pink Girl.
That is Pink Girl.
All right, give me a chance to
All right,
give me.
All right, yeah, all right, Scott. Scott, the way.
So I have 2 points right
yeah,
now.
yeah, you have 2 points. All right. Wait a minute. If I keep giving it to Scott first and just letting Stefan, never mind. Scott, which one is Kaminari?
Oh, Kaminari Denki, Mr. Electric.
That's correct. That was a bit of a give you there.
It's 2-2.
Yeah, so we're now 2-2. Hey, Stefan, which Hagakure? I'm not sure what student that was. Can you remind me of their power?
Hagakure. I'll give you that. I'm not sure.
Not sure. Scott for the steal. Who's Hagakure?
Hagakure. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I don't want to look at the chat. So Hagakure.
Luckily, they're way behind us. So
Yeah, I'm thinking boy.
Hagakure seems like a boy to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're only giving me one part of their name though, and that's
I'm usually going with the name I feel like most people call them by.
no,
what I tend to hear them.
that's fair.
So usually more their family name.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hagakure.
Refer to each other.
I believe Hagakure is. Oh God.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Is that the one? Is that Animal Dude?
That is not Animal Dude.
Damn.
Hagakure is the Invisible Girl.
Oh.
So neither of us got that one.
Yeah.
We're still
Alright,
tied
alright.
up.
All right.
All right. So yeah, 2-2. All right. Let's see. We're starting to get to characters who you're probably just gonna recognize. Sato. Which character is Sato? Stefan was the one who was answering that last one, so Stefan gets first guess.
Sato.
Sato.
That's Tailboy, right?
Sato is not Tailboy. We
No.
already had Tailboy.
Yeah,
It
that was Ojiro.
That was the first question.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're
For the
right.
steal, Scott, do you remember who Sato is?
Sugar Boy?
Sato is Sugar Boy.
Oh,
Nice!
him.
Sugar
I forgot
daddy.
he existed.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it was a very easy.
he looks like a
character.
Sato.
Yeah.
Sato.
All right.
So that's Scott in the lead.
Yeah, Scott now has the lead, and I don't feel like we have to go through every member of this class, so I'm going to say Scott if you don't get this one, and Stefan does.
Then it's a tie.
Then that'll be a tie.
Okay.
And we'll do a tiebreaker if
Okay.
Stefan gets this. Scott, can you tell me which character? Oh man, I feel like most of these are people we all know. Which one is Jiro?
Oh, Jiro's mouth.
Oh.
Mouth dude.
Mouth dude?
Yep.
That is incorrect.
No, that is Earplugs Girl.
That's correct.
Oh, you're right. That is Jiro.
I thought you were gonna get that one.
Yeah, me too.
Damn it.
Oh, I'm like, oh shoot.
All right.
Give him an easy one. All right, so now we have the tiebreaker. Fuck.
So you gotta decide who to give this to.
Yeah, that's tough.
First person who says it.
Because now I'm looking at all of these and I'm like, I feel like I'd be able to guess this right away.
All right.
So you want to like buzz in like,
I love Jiro though. I don't. I'm really actually sad.
but you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Don't
I
love her
like
enough.
Jiro too. Like honestly, I think of the
Who doesn't like her?
like of the class 1A that we don't really see like as far as like the stars. I think she's my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. The first one to answer me which power this character has. Who is Aoyama?
Oh, laser,
yeah.
laser belly.
Yeah.
laser.
Yes.
Yep, that's the one.
Sorry, Aoyama's one of my favorite characters. I was gonna get that one.
Oh, you like the gay one?
I like the French one.
I
Who's
originally,
very gay.
Yeah,
I
he's
originally
very
wrote
gay.
these down because I wanted to see if I could discern if there was any sort of like meaning behind their order because they are definitely all like in seat numbers and they are always in the same seats and it's always listed in the same order. At first I thought it was alphabetical because it starts off with seat 1 is Aoyama, seat 2 is Ashido, seat 3 is Asui. So I was like, okay, here's all the A's. This is like we're probably going alphabetical. Next up is Ida, then Uraraka, then Ojiro, Kaminari, Kirishima, Koda, Sato, Shoji, Jiro, Sero, Tokuyami.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of those ones, like when you get into like,
Yeah.
when you said Hagakure, I was like, fuck.
And sometimes I only know them by their hero name.
Yeah.
Like, Ashido, I usually remember her as Pinky.
Okay.
Is that her name?
That's her hero name.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely would not probably immediately go Asui. Oh, that's definitely Sue. That's definitely
yeah.
Froppy.
I think of her as Tsuyu.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but
I-
Asui would clue you in.
Yeah, but I would but I actually do recognize all of those names though for her. Like
Yeah.
Asui,
Tsuyu,
Tsuyu,
Sue,
and Froppy.
Froppy.
Yeah, I avoided asking.
Well, that's
who she
because
was.
she's one of our favorite. Froppy's great. Froppy's too good.
Yeah, I don't get the horniness for her, but
I get it.
I don't.
I get it in the fact that I could understand that a tongue would be easy to manipulate and could probably be useful.
Also,
in some situations.
also, let's be fair. Her costume is pretty tight and everything.
She's just a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
She's a Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, she. You know what? Oh my God, she is.
Yeah.
All of her. Yeah.
And that's why whenever someone's talking about her powers, like she's kind of perfect, is because she's Spider-Man.
Well, she's
Yeah.
also super cute. Like desexualize it.
no,
Super
yeah,
adorable.
no, yeah. She's cute. I just don't get the sexualized part
Yeah.
that a lot of people go for.
But looking through here, my notes real quick, just to throw anything else out there of super interest. I really liked when Ida was telling everyone to go eat dinner that he did not even need to move his legs because he's so fast he just slides into frame. Or maybe it was just some lazy animating. I'm not sure. Either way, it was nice that he just gets to slip on in there. That's fun.
By the way, something I wanted to point out before we go, and this is funny, and I don't know if everybody caught this over on my Twitter, but you might have. So, last night, I went to the 4-Star Bento channel, and I was like, yeah, I was actually kind of, I was sad. I was like, man, I wish we updated this more. Unfortunately, it just wasn't, it wasn't getting enough views, and when you're spending a whole lot of time on something and it's just not making you money, you gotta
Gotta
consider
spend
it.
resources
When you,
elsewhere.
yeah, when you expend more resources for.
But I decided like I wanted to take a look at the thumbnails again, like, what do these look like? And I'm doing a little bit of remodeling on them now, but I noticed that our first movie review for My Hero Academia was sitting at 200,000 views, and I was very confused. I'm like, well, that's
That's a
interesting.
very high number for that channel.
Yeah, that's not only a high number for that channel, it's also really like last time I saw it, it was not anywhere close to that. What the fuck happened? So, I went to it and I noticed the ratio was 50-50 on likes, dislikes.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I'm
lots
like,
of people not liking our movie.
and I was curious, like, we didn't say anything bad in that review. Nothing to garner hate. And I looked at other videos around it and I'm like, okay, nobody like negative, like nobody bombed our channel. So what's this about? So I go to the comments. So it turns out when you put the name of an anime movie onto a clip on YouTube and the length is over an hour, people just assume that that's the movie. And when people clicked on that video and then found out that our review was not a movie, but a review of the movie,
But a bunch of dudes talking about it.
they were pissed and fucking downvoted the video. Which guess what? Guess what downvoting does?
That gives us a huge boost.
It also, it pushes it into other. It actually promotes
That
the.
works.
Yes.
That's why
Controversial
people make
videos.
controversial videos is because it makes them a lot of money.
Yes, because it actually.
No.
Yeah, controversial videos get
YouTube
promoted.
encourages that shit.
Yeah. And so that only meant that more people found our video and then saw that it wasn't the movie, and then downvoted it again.
Getting us more views. So like, hey, I guess thanks to those people for giving Bento
Yeah,
extra
thanks
money.
for the little spike, I guess.
We were getting $1 a day for however long that was going. So hey, that's cool. Yeah. No, god damn it.
Since I don't think I'll have the chance to mention this anywhere else, I have realized I think my favorite part of the first My Hero movie is the soundtrack, in particular the song they make for Young All Might, because it's just he always has this
Yeah.
whenever he shows up, and it's usually just like this fun fanfare orchestra. In this one, it's like kind of like a rock, like youthful, exciting version.
Yeah.
It's real.
And I bet you we'll end up seeing some version of that in the show now.
Probably.
I can't remember the name of the you think it's Yuji something?
The composer.
Yeah. Fun fact. The next Pokemon anime is being scored by him.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's got me kind of psyched. Although I already love the Pokemon anime music, so it's
Shinji
brilliant.
Miyazaki
yeah.
is actually stupendous.
Yeah, he does a great job.
But Yuki Hayashi.
Yuki
Yeah,
Hayashi,
yeah, sorry, not Yuji. Yuki Hayashi. One of my favorite, flat out, for a long time. I love Yuki Hayashi. I've always loved him. So to see him come back, or her? Yuki. That might be that might be a her.
I think it's a guy because I follow him
It very well could be a guy. Shinji Miyazaki apparently is getting up there in years, so I guess he's taken a step out, and Yuki Hayashi has come on to do
new blood.
the OST for the new Pokemon series. So
if I can get a Yusei Run equivalent in my Pokemon, that's all I ever need.
man, it always makes me. I'm sorry. I know that some people. I just can't stand the fact that the dub has to rip out that
Oh, yeah.
score.
That's a complaint for
Yeah.
another day, another time.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us on this. How long have we?
We got like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Oh my
Imagine
god.
when we hit an episode that actually matters.
There's no. The funny thing was, this was not an episode that mattered. The next episode is actually an episode that matters, and we won't have half the shit to talk about because
We'll have to keep our mouths shut.
we'll have to keep our mouths shut. Not to mention, like, again, one of the reasons that we had so much to talk about this time is that we just came back into it without talking about My Hero Academia for like how many months?
I bet you we'll probably squeeze 45 minutes out of every single episode somehow.
It will
You and
do-
me can
Yeah.
talk about nothing.
Oh my god, it's true.
Quick question though.
Yes.
So
Before we go.
today we did this on Wednesday because we were out of the office on Monday.
Oh, yes.
And Tuesday we had D&D. So we'll typically be doing this on Monday. However,
Yes.
are you going to be out of town Monday?
No.
You're back then?
I'm coming back. So this weekend I'm going to London to go to one of our teammates' wedding. I wonder who lives in London and is getting married.
Wow.
Also-
I can't believe Martin is going back to
Going back to
Get-
London
to get married
married
again.
remarried to
Yeah.
the same person.
So I'll be at Moscow's wedding this weekend with Lanny Bator and Takahata 101. But I'm coming back on Sunday.
Okay.
I was thinking about staying a couple of extra days, and then I realized that I just don't have the time or the energy or the money to spend that much time abroad. So I'm actually leaving tomorrow night. and then I'll be back Sunday evening.
All right.
The
Well,
good
if you're going to be back, then we can probably say that Monday we will be doing this.
The good thing is, actually, it is a 9-hour flight, which means I can get a lot of writing done. And by a lot of writing, I mean download something off of Netflix that I haven't seen in a while, Parks and Recreations. When I'm coming back, I leave at like 3 p.m. and get back at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, because London's so far ahead,
You
and
can
I'm
actually
just
get a
flying back.
good night's sleep.
Actually, yeah. Oh my God, that'd be so nice.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in forever.
You just stay awake in the flight.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping on my way there because I get there at like noon.
Yeah.
I'm leaving at 9. I go to bed at like 3 in the morning. But yeah, which means when I get there, oh my God, when I get there, I'm gonna be so sleepy. But I'll tough it out. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining me today. I don't know why I'm saying you joining me. This is the whole thing, but yeah. So you can tune in next week, Monday. I'm not sure the time. Maybe 5 p.m.
Sure. We'll let you know via social media channels like Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
For now, we'll say 5.
But yeah, tentatively 5. That seems like a good time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. So again, thank you all so much, and we'll see you then. Adios, everybody.